How you doing, everyone? This is Steve Lagudi from Steve Lagudi Productions, out here on the Machine Head Tour in Europe with the new MIDAS PRO X console. This was the band that I made the purchase of having a Pro Series console. You know, I knew the Pro X was coming out. It was still kind of early, but we were going out on tour. So I said, all right, let me just get a Pro 6. I had less than 56 channels. Pro 6 was gonna cover that, but I was definitely preparing for the Pro X, transition. Like, I have the ability that we can, go out and crush everybody else out there. As long as you give me the tools, I could do it. There was a couple of key reasons as to why I wanted to choose the larger format console. Granted, it's a little heavier, which would be expected, but was the reliability and the redundancy of having two onboard computers. This computer can go away, that's still gonna work. So I needed to have that protection from the console. Another reason was the additional VCAs for me to be able to have what I needed down here to control the show. But another key thing was being able to have tactile control of the desk. To start with, I brought in my show file from my Pro 6, seamlessly integrated to the desk. And then now with all this extra effects that I have in the rack, I can add on to it, and that's what I've done. So I'm moving forward from that point. I will go ahead and make a new scene to kind of keep things tidy, but I know we're gonna be doing some fly tours where I might not be able to have the Pro X, so if I need to step back down to a 3, 6, and 9, the non-essential stuff falls away, and I'm still able to keep, the regular meat and potatoes of the show are still intact for me. Rob had no idea that I was a studio engineer, and I ended up jumping in and recording the new record, a lot of it from the road. Hotel rooms, dressing rooms all over the world. I was both a front of house guy and a studio guy, particularly like with Machine Head, to now be able to have that trust and control over the sound. Like, Rob knows that I'm able to not only deliver a killer front of house sound, but also knowing all the little nuances that that go on the records that I'm able to provide during my, my show out front. With my extensive background with the studio and Pro Tools, we've been going back through the entire catalog, and everything's now on a click, and it's great. We have the consistency day in and day out, and they love all of that. And here's another unit that was new when the software released with version 3 is the de-esser. Thank you, Midas, for putting this in. I love this thing. Typical use would be for de-essing vocals, of course. Another cool trick that I like to use the de-esser is if you have certain guitar players that might, have picky notes that might be jumping out a little bit too much to you, or even say on a hi-hat to kind of smooth it out. I've used the de-esser before for those, applications, and it works wonders. It sounds killer. So thank you again for putting that in, Midas. Descend the Shades of Grey, it's a song that we've been playing pretty much a lot on this tour. At the beginning of the song, Phil's up on stage along with Jared, our bass player, doing some swells. So on the bass and the regular guitars, I can just easily remove those gates at any time, so that way the gate doesn't choke it off. And then there's parts then where Dave is coming in with the snare drum, and he's playing some very, very light hits, and I can take those in and out and put them in back as well. There's no other digital desk out there that's able to do that, at least not to my knowledge, and that's a key thing for me. All the years that I've been with them now, they trusted me, and that to me is the most important part of being a sound engineer, is having the trust with the artists that you're working with. And now I have that same trust and relationship with Midas. I mean, that this is the console that sounds the best.